Yo, welcome to Bootcamp, day number 3, ladies and gentlemen. We're just gonna get right into it today. Today is all about your mental status, okay? Because I'm just gonna tell you a very quick story. So, first of all, I became a profitable sports bettor 8 years ago. 8 years ago. But I didn't start making money from sports betting until 4 years ago. Now, the reason for that is because I was a profitable sports bettor 8 years ago. I made profitable decisions on the market. I made profitable predictions that this would happen on this certain day between these two teams. I was very good at that from a very, very young age for a very long time. But it took me 4 years to actually make money using that skill. And it was because I was a profitable sports bettor, but I was not a profitable person. I did not make profitable decisions at all. And most of you guys have never made a profit because of that very same reason. Now, it sucks. It's part of this industry. It's something that makes it so challenging, which is why so many people love it, which is why you see gambling addicts, which is why you see people at the slot machine saying, I'm due, I'm gonna hit big. No, you're not. It's a slot machine. It's rigged against you. You might win big. Then you're off to the next slot to go blow it again. You know? So that person actually has a ton of discipline. They are so dedicated to spamming that fucking button over and over and over until they get a massive payout. And then when they get the massive payout, they don't even know what to do but go to another slot and lose it. So then they can restart the chase. Because that's what most of you guys are in it for, the chase. You're in it for the chase of the highs and the lows. You know, some of you guys might make more money than you've ever made from your job in a month and then lose it because you want to go back to that lower feeling. It's like you need it. It's like your body is craving it. It's actually insane. It's the worst feeling ever. Because you're like, sweet, I made it. But then you like something doesn't feel right. You're like, I just made money. Something doesn't feel right. Live game. Boop, gone. Oh, that feels normal. Good time to go to bed and do it again tomorrow. That's how a lot of you guys are. That's how I was. For years. 4 years. That cost me 4 years. Okay? So how did I exactly stop doing that? What I did is I took $100. Not a lot of money, $100. I put it into a sports betting account and I said, look, if you put more in here, you're not going to be able to make money because you're going to start thinking of how can I make this much from this $1,000 deposit? How can I make 50% of my account in a day instead of how can I make it in a month? Okay? So I took $100 and I said, I'm just going to place my picks like I normally do every single day. So I did that. I placed my picks, did $2 a pick, $2 a unit, $4 a pick. Like 5 picks a day, something like that. Dude, my account got to $150 after a month. And I was like, dang, I only made $50. And then I was like, hold on. $50? That's 25 units I just made. And then the next month, my account was at $250, doing the same thing, $2 a unit. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just made 50 units this month. Then I started thinking, whoa, I didn't care about my 10 losing days I had that month because I was betting $4 a pick. I can't even buy anything with $4, dude. Maybe a pack of pencils. What am I going to do with that? Shove them up my ass? I mean, seriously, you can't buy much with that. And if you lose it, it's like you lost $4, dude. What the hell are you tripping about? So then I got to $250 and I was like, whoa. Dude, if this was $5,000 and I 1.5x my bankroll, I would have made over 10 bands already. Yeah. I would have made over 10 bands already. That's how I was thinking. I was like, oh my gosh, could have made like 15 bands, something like that. And I'm like, that's off of 5K. So then I did that. I'm like, boom, 5K, there we go. Guess what? I tracked my win-loss record that month. I made 50 units of profit that month. Guess how much I made on my sports betting account? minus 5,000, minus 5,000. Why? Why is that the case? It's because I put the more amount of money in there, and I was like really, really concerned that I would lose that money. Really, really concerned. So if I lost anything on a single day, let's say I had a bad day, I lost $400, I'd be freaking out. How can I get this back? How can I get this back? How can I get this back? Live tennis games at midnight. Boom. Oh my gosh, now I'm down 1,000. Okay. I'm putting 1,000 on this random KBO game. Korean baseball. I know you all know what that is. KBO, boom. We lost 2-0. Oh my gosh, on a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 13th inning. Boom, now I'm down 2K. And I'm like, okay, well, one more pick. And it's like 4:35 a.m. at this point. I don't even know what the fuck I'm watching. Some Australian shit. Gone, 5K. In the blink of an eye, and I'm like, had I not done that, I would have lost $400 instead of an additional $4,600. You see how one bad decision can lead to another bad decision that can lead you down a bad decision rabbit hole that will literally make you feel like shit for a long time. Then I blew that. Then I did it again. And I blew that. Then I did it again. And I blew that. Then I said, I'm done. I'm done. There's no reason for me to do this because I'm playing a losing game. So then I stopped for 3 months. For 3 months I stopped. I was still, checking the games every day, making my picks, doing that. And I'm like, dude, in 3 months I just made another 150 units. 150 units. Oh my gosh. And then I start doing the math. Dude, instead of me losing 15K, I could have had a total of 40K from one $5,000 deposit. Well, at 40K plus the 15 I had put in, plus the 50 units or 150 units, plus the additional 100 right there. That's what I was thinking, And then I was just like, oh my gosh. And I was so mad, dude. I didn't talk to anyone for a week. My boys were like calling me, dude, are you good? I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? Everything's good, bro. What are you talking about? No, dude. I was down bad. I was door dashing, trying to figure everything out. And I was super mad for a little while, for like a few weeks. And then one night I was just sitting in my room. Because what I would do is I'd take my phone and I would put it in like my bathroom or something. And I would just sit in my room and think. One night I thought, and I'm just like, dang, you lost 15K like that. But you should have been up so much. And then I was like, wait. You can be up so much. Had you not been a dumbass and made unprofitable decisions, you literally would have made close to 25,000 in 3 months, which was like crazy money to me. It's still a lot of money now, but then it's like, you got 25K, you're living lavish, dude. And I was like sitting there and I'm just like, dude, this sucks that this happened, but this happening makes me never want to feel this ever again. Makes me never want to impulse due to my emotions ever again. And that's exactly what happened. My bad, I gotta check something. That's exactly what happened, dude. Wait. Holy. It's exactly what happened. I sat there and I was just like, I'm going to think of this 15 grand as the price it costs for me to live the life I want to. And I don't know the position you guys are in currently, but I bet it's probably somewhere similar, hopefully not as bad. But that took years away from me making 7 figures from a sports book. Years. But sitting there that night, everything clicked. It all made sense. Because had God not done that for me and take away all of that, I would have never broken out of it. Let's say that night I did hit on that KBO pick. Maybe I would have went on an insane run and made 10 grand from that original 5K and then lost it all. Maybe I would have been even more sick. I would have been even more disgusted. Because in my mind, I would have been happy I made it. But a part of me would know that if I continue to be greedy like this, I can make quick licks like that. Which you can. You can go on a short-term run and make a crazy amount of money. But it won't last. That's the thing about this industry. Without consistency, without discipline, and without having a profitable mindset, your profits won't last. Ever. Ever. That's what you need to understand in this game. You can have 100 picks you place in a month, right? You can go 99-1, but have $0 to show for it because that one loss was your one bad decision to go all in. And then imagine how sick you'd feel. You'd be disgusted with yourself. You wouldn't want to look in the mirror. You wouldn't want to get out of bed. So I sat there, and for 2 weeks I was like, this sucks. Why me? Why did I do this? But then I said, dude, you have a skill. You have a skill. You just need to not be a dumbass. And that's all it comes down to. Not being an idiot. Now, it's so easy for me to say this, but it's easy for me to say this as well because I've lived through it. That is why in day one of the boot camp, I showed you Las Vegas, a city built on losers. It's built on losers because of their mindset, not because people are that bad at gambling. Go look at the blackjack odds. Yes, they're against your favor, but they're not that bad. It's not that far against your favor that you should go in there with $1,000 and leave in there minus $10,000. The reason that happens is because you lose the original 1,000 and you begin the chase of trying to get that 1,000 back. When in reality, you should treat this like a business. Each day, I am going to go into the market and beat the market. I might not beat it every day, but if I beat it 20 times out of 30 times in a month, I am living life. You get what I'm saying? This should click. This should all make sense. It's so easy. You have all the information the sports books do. They are the ones that have the liability. They are the ones that have the disadvantage because they have to put out the lines. They don't force you to touch a certain game. You get to pick which games you want. They put out the lines, they determine the lines, and they're not always right. That's where we come in. The closing crew. We close those lines out, we bang them, and we capitalize off of their mistakes. Now, people don't think like that because most of you got into this industry because you wanted to have fun, or you maybe thought, dude, I know ball. I can make a ton of bread. You can. But then you ended up losing, didn't you? And then you ended up chasing. Now that's the biggest thing. Majority of it is chasing. Chase. Because in your mind, today you had, let's just say, $3,000. And by the end of today, you have 0. So tomorrow, your only thought is, how can I get to 3K? Then the chase begins. And it's how long until you get back to 3K? Then you're back at 3K. What are you going to do with it then? Oh, cool. Now I'm back. Let me be a DJ again until I'm back to where I just was. Then it's a cycle that can never stop. That is why people get addicted to these things. That is why gambling, I think gambling is horrible for society. Believe it or not. Somebody that does it for a living, I think it's horrible for society. People come up to me and they say, oh, you like, sports bets? So you just like gamble for a living? And I'm like, yes, but I don't treat it like it's gambling. I treat gambling like if I go to the blackjack table and play a game that is literally rigged against me. Yes, the sports books do have an edge with that 10% on both sides, minus 110, minus 110. But it's not rigged against you because they're not forcing you to take the Rams -7 tonight. You know? We took the Falcons plus 7.5. We could have taken the Rams and lost money. But we have an edge over the markets. So we determined the Falcons are the better pick. They won the game outright as 7.5-point underdogs. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? And I'm also going to give you some literal examples of what I'm talking about right now. I know you guys are probably thinking, oh my God, I love this guy. His boot camps are freaking awesome, dude. I know you are. And I know they are. I want you guys to look at this. These are my results. First of all, I'm going to show you one more thing as well. In the last 37 days, 37, I average 50 units a month. So if you bet $100 a unit and we make 50 units a month, you're making $5K a month. Last month we made 56 units since December 21st. Today is December 30th. The day hasn't happened yet. So since December 29th, we are up 100.07 units. Hitting at 58%, 161, 115, and 2. If you bet $100 a unit, you would have made $10,000 in 37 days off of a $5,000 bankroll. So that $5,000 deposit would be $15,000 now in 37 days. But let me show you something. We had a horrible stretch from November 27th to December 2nd. And again, we made 56 units. So if you bet $100 a unit, you made this much money in 30 days. But from right here to here, I don't know how much we lost, but it looks like 6 units maybe. But we lost 4 straight days. So it was 4 straight days of just getting bent over backwards, dude. After having this. So you go from cloud 9 to feeling low, and then you lost another 7 there. But then look what we do. Plus 8 units, plus 4 units, plus 3.6 units, plus 4.9, plus 11.88, plus 6. So we had one bad stretch, and since we have an edge over the sports books and we are profitable, we literally destroyed that. We literally destroyed that. Now here's the same example. Had a bad stretch from the 14th to the 21st. We lost 12 units this week, I remember. A little under 12 units that we lost in this week to end the month. And I kept telling everybody, guys, don't be discouraged after one bad week. It happens. It's part of the industry. You can't win every single day. For there to be winners, there's going to be losers. I'm hitting at 58% in the last 37 days, which means 42% of the bets I placed lost, which means 42% of the time I feel like I lost money because I did on those bets. But it doesn't matter. If you have an edge, it doesn't matter day to day. It matters month to month, week to week, year to year. So again, we lost 11 units from 12/14 to 12/21. Now look what happened from 12/22 to the next day. VIP results. If you guys aren't in my Discord, by the way, type like W something. Just type W, like the letter W in the comments. I'll send you the link. The next day, the very next day, we bring the brooms out and we make 8 units. So in 7 days, we lost 12 units. And then in one day, the very next day, we made 8 units. Then the next day, we make 6 units. So in 2 days, we just canceled out a losing week. Now, had you gone down the rabbit hole during those that week stretch, and you thought, I need to get this back, and then I'll be good. If you had just stayed patient, controlled your emotions, and made profitable decisions, you would already be in the green in 9 days. In 9 days. But then it gets better. Then the next day, it was the Christmas Eve. We had one pick, another sweep. So then that minus 11 just turned into a plus 5. We're not done. Okay, now we're even. Christmas was bad. I'm not done. So now we're even through that little 11-day stretch. Then we sweep again on Friday. So now we're up 8 units. Then we go 6-2, making 9 units. Now we're up 17 units. Then on Sunday, we go 8-1 plus 15 units. Then that turns into plus 32 units. And then today, we went, pull up my phone, 4-3 plus 1.84 units. Do you see how if you just stay consistent and disciplined throughout the storm, throughout the entire process, throughout your bankroll system, the results prove themselves? You should never have to redeposit money. And if you do, it's going to be 2 months out of the year when you have a bad month, because you're going to lose sometimes. I account for 2 losing months a year. My goal is to make 500 units a year. If I do that, and you bet $100 a unit, you make 50 grand a year. Now let's imagine you bet $1,000 a unit, 500 grand a year. Units is just how you track your total profit. What your actually unit size is determines person to person, however much money you're comfortable putting into this. Now let's talk about that for like 2 seconds. If you are comfortable putting $5,000 into a betting account, put $2,500 into your betting account. Put half of that into your betting account. Don't need to put the whole amount. Just do half of that. Just half. Because if you have a bad month that first month, you have your emergency fund to save the day. Especially if you're betting $50 a unit. What that pretty much means is that you're doubling your bankroll every month. And that doesn't mean you should add to your bankroll every month. You should only do that when you have a very sufficient amount, like I just said. Does that make sense? Should make sense. But let's say there are people that are in my VIP that are tailing my picks, and they decided through the 7-day losing streak, 7-day period where we lost 12 units, to try and chase and get those 12 units back. It would have costed them over 35 units of profit just by a few days of them being greedy, of them being emotional, of them giving into their emotions. It's not about the day to day. If I go 0-5 today, I say, too bad. Tomorrow's going to be a great day. You know, if you saw me make 10K and lose 10K, you would not know the difference. It needs to be like that. It needs to. You need to remove all of your emotions, all of your desires, all of your goals out of it, because things are not going to go according to the plan every single time. But if you sit down and you shut the fuck up and you place 5 picks a day, you place your picks and you delete your sports betting apps, let's just say you don't even watch the games, and the next day you open up your account, you're going to be much better off than if you're checking them all day long and you have a bad day and you're just trying to get that back. That's how the sports books make money. Like, fuck you money. That's really how they do it. Has nothing to do with them just putting out the lines and, oh, the house always wins. The house always wins because everyone's a fucking idiot. Had everyone not been an idiot, Vegas wouldn't be a thing. The sports books wouldn't be a thing. They wouldn't be begging you to join. But because they know the average person is weak-minded and has an unprofitable mindset, they know they can print off of them. I'm just going to keep it straight up. Some of you guys are rat shit gamblers. Some of you guys are rat shit sports bettors. And if that's you, don't tail, bro. I mean, not don't tail. Pick a different industry, you know? But also, that's why I'm making this, because you don't have to be bad. Go watch my previous video. I literally teach you how to use AI for your picks. This is a 50-day plus long bootcamp I'm making. If you're liking what you're hearing, subscribe, like the video, and comment down other things you want to hear. Because I'm making this because, again, I've been profitable for 8 years, but I've only been making money sports betting for 4. Had I been profitable, had I had a profitable mindset for 8 years, things would be a lot different. And I bet you guys are probably thinking, if I'm not losing all my money sports betting, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this. You know, you guys should have the ability to travel whenever you want. You guys should have the ability to go to the gym at 2 p.m. on a weekday whenever you want when nobody's there. That's when I go to the gym because nobody's there. I literally, my day, I'll tell you how my day goes. Whenever I make this, I make a video, I edit it, I scroll a few reels, I go to sleep, I don't set an alarm clock, I wake up, I get out of bed, I take a cold shower, I make a coffee, I start doing some research, then at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I go to the gym where there's probably 20 people there, in a gym where if I were to go at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, there'd be 500 people there. Then I leave, and I have an easy drive home because there's literally 0 people on the road because everybody's in an office. And I chill the rest of the day, cook up my picks. I tell you guys you're brokies for not joining VIP. That's my day. And then I watch sports. And then I go back to the gym at 10 o'clock to play basketball because, again, there's not a lot of people there because they have to get up early for work. My day is literally guided around avoiding massive crowds. And I can do that because I am not tied down anywhere. Had I been tied down to a job, which there's nothing wrong with working a job. Again, watch day 1 of the boot camp. This is day 3. Go watch days 1 and 2. I give you my whole story. I was working at Chipotle. I was working with my uncle for a little bit. All of those jobs sucked. I was door dashing all summer because I lost money gambling. You know? I'm making this so you don't have to go through that. No other sports bettor does that. Do I sell picks? Yes. If you're good at something, never do it for free. But nobody's going above and beyond like I am because nobody actually cares. Everybody else just wants your money. Everybody else just wants you to join, and they're not going to hit you up or anything. You know how many DMs I get on Discord that I literally respond to every single one of them? And they're like, dude, nobody usually responds. And they're like, yeah, bro, because I actually care. I actually care. You know? It's a tough industry, but there's a reason I'm making this. It's to save you guys from the BS and to let you guys understand that this is no different than the stock market. This is no different than day trading. You have an edge in all these things. Sports betting is a lot more appealing to everybody, though, because everybody watches sports, which is one of the reasons why it's looked down on in a sense. And it's also another reason why, as somebody that does it for a living, people think differently of them. And it's literally just because everybody else sucks at it. So in their mind, they literally can't fathom that somebody has figured out a multi-billion-dollar market that nobody else could. You know? But it's like, what do I have to show for it? A lot. What do you have to show for what you're doing? And it's not about that. Who cares what people are doing? I don't. Do what you want to do with your life. But if you think and you want more out of your life from this market, there are so many losers that have already paid for your future wins. Understand that. This market is so unprofitable for 99.99999% of people that their money that they lost is waiting to be deposited into your bank account. You never thought about it this way. That's why you keep losing. For there to be winners, there has to be losers. But this industry, there are so many losers that we need to make some more winners, dude. You know how many people I have DMing me every single day that say, dude, I literally made more money this month from sports betting than I did from my job. Should I quit? Question mark. And I say, no. Don't quit your job. Don't. I'm very happy to hear that, but don't quit your job. Because what will happen when you quit your job when you just start making money sports betting? Number one, your actual income stops coming in. And then you're way more attached to the money that you're betting, which is going to lead back to the start of the video of giving into your emotions. If you don't do that, you'll be fine. But I know how most people are. So when people say me that, I just say, bro, keep working. Games don't start until you're off work anyways, homie. You have one job, and it's just opening up Discord for 20 minutes a day and pressing 5 buttons on your sports betting apps. And they're like, fair point. It is a fair point. But I did this the hard way, dude. I was doing this with no job at one point. This was my job at one point. So, like, the first 4 years is what I'm talking about. That's why it was so hard. And then even when I had a job, it's like, I understood how horrible those years were, where I was losing so much money that I knew I couldn't do what I have been doing. You understand? And it truly will change your life if you do this correctly. But again, if there's 3 things I can tell you to do, is number 1, regulate your emotions. Become somebody that doesn't care about their emotions. Might suck a little bit. I mean, I'm an absolute clown, dude. Like, I am the biggest jokester out of everybody, you know? People come to me and we're laughing the whole time. Not saying don't have emotions like that. I'm saying don't have emotions that if you lose something, you're feeling like a loser. No. You might for a day, but if you win 20 out of 30 days, 66% of the month, you're a winner. And that's all that matters. That's number 1. Number 2, never chase your losses. Never chase your losses. And always stay disciplined and consistent. There's nothing in this industry that can be conquered without discipline and consistency. If you have discipline, amazing. If you have consistency, amazing. But you need both. You need to have the consistency to win on a monthly basis, and you need to have the discipline for when you do lose to not go back to old habits. And number 3 is just have a profitable mindset. And this should be number 1 for the most part. Have Jesus Christ and God in your life. If you have God and structure in your life, no matter what happens, good or bad, it's all God's plan. You know? It's all God's plan. Okay, well, I lost this today because God's testing. Like, if you rewire your mind to think, right? Let's say you have a horrible day today, and you're like, okay, and you're just starting out. Okay, God's testing me because he wants to see how I will react when I have a losing day. God is watching me. He knows that I just lost money. He is waiting to see how I am going to react right now. I am going to react as I should. I saw the value I liked for the day. I put those values in. I had a bad day. It happens. Boom. Close your laptop, close your phone, go do something else. Then God's going to say, okay, you know what? This guy actually has what it takes to make it in this industry. Let's give him a good day today and see how he reacts. Then he'll give you a good day. Then you're saying, thank you, God. This happened because I didn't do this yesterday. And then just like that, you built momentum on your side. You just built discipline, and now you have consistency on the horizon. You understand that? If you have God in your life, it's very easy, and it's all about how you're viewing things in your mind. Very important. Another tip I have for you guys, write down every day your wins and losses. Write them down when you're making your picks, because Most of the time, you're not going to have a notebook laying around, but you will have your phone. So let's say you put your picks in and you go 4-2 on the day, and you write them down on your notebook, and you don't check it till the next day. But then you had your sports betting app open on your phone, and that 4-2 turned into 4-8 because you wanted more and more and more and more and more. The next day, you're going to go back to your notebook and say, dude, had I not been a dumbass, I would have gone 4-2. Then right there, in your mind, it clicks. I would have made money if I allowed myself to yesterday. Because the only person that is holding you back is you. Nobody else. Truly. That's the best part about this. And guys, if you're worried about getting limited on sportsbooks and stuff, prediction markets just rolled around. Prediction markets. You know how good news that is for me? Good of news? Dude, I'm pumped. Robinhood, Kalshi, Polymarket, hop on them all. Grab their money. It's there for the taking, dude. It's there for the taking. It's there for the taking. And again, you're not going to have to worry about getting limited on those things because everybody loses. Just about everybody loses. There is so much room in this industry for winners. But it all comes down to everything I just told you guys. If you can't do what I just said, don't even sports bet. It's not for you and it will destroy your life. You know? And I like to look at it as it's your fault. I blamed everything on me. When I made money, it's my fault. I made great decisions. When I lost money, it's my fault. I made bad decisions. You know, there's a lesson in everything, but it's all about how you view it, and it's all about your repeated actions stacking up over time. Consistency, consistency, consistency. There's not really much else to add on top of this. This is the best piece of information I could give to you guys. And again, day number 1 of the boot camp was my story / how I would start if I were you guys. Day number 2 is how to use AI for your picks. I literally go in depth on the Penn State versus Clemson college football bowl game. I give you a full step-by-step guide on how to use the AI. It's not my AI I use, but it's Grok. It's Twitter's AI. It's a very great AI. Because if I were you guys, I wouldn't spend years developing an AI like I did because it's way too much hassle. But you watch that video. You will learn how to actually get an edge over the sports books. And literally the pick I gave you guys in that game, I was literally telling you, Clemson is favored because of this. It's not really going to be a factor. Penn State's underdogs. We're taking them. They won. They won by 2 scores. But that's it. I'm making this boot camp to teach you guys how to win, how to do it, and how to keep it. There's nothing else I can do for you, but it's up to you to put it into action. Because you can watch this video and feel fired up for 10 minutes and say, you know what? I'm listening to Vegas. I already know I'm good at this. I'm going to stay consistent at it. I'm not going to chase my losses. I'm not going to do this. And then the second one thing bad happens to you, the emotions flood in. And then you have a decision to make. Should I listen? Or should I take this bet that I just found live that I really like? And in that decision, you are choosing which path you're taking. And it will happen for most of you that watch this. But it doesn't have to be the case. If you can control your mind, if you can control your thoughts, and if you can control your actions, you will have success in this industry. Oh, the Nevada Gaming Commission might try and put a bullet in me or something, dude. Because this is some valuable sauce. But yeah, also, if you guys want to be tailing my picks every single day, we're up 100 units in 37 days. I teach you literally everything in there as well. How to structure your bankroll, how to stay disciplined, everything. Just DM me on Discord, and if you need the Discord link, type W. Tell me you came from the bootcamp video. I'll give you a really nice promo, and you'll be in with the rest of the family. But that's it. 40-minute video. A little longer than I wanted it to be. and it's 3:01 a.m. Damn. See, I'm gonna wake up at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Nah, dude, I went to bed at 5 yesterday. I woke up at 9. 5 to 9, dude. I'm working the backwards 9 to 5. Motherfuckers go to work at 9. I wake up at 9, but I went to bed at 5. Like, good day, good day. Good trolls. But yeah, that's it. Wrap it up. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. If you have any questions or anything you want me to cover in the boot camp, let me know. But yeah, just put it into action and you'll be successful. See you in day 4.